You ever shout into the dark and wait for something to shout back? Now imagine the whole human race doing that. Radios screaming into space for decades, signals, probes, golden records with our music, our faces, our pride, and nothing answers. That silence isn't peaceful, it's heavy. There's an idea called the dark forest hypothesis. Simple version. The universe is like a dark forest at night. Every civilization is a hunter with a gun. No one knows who is predator or prey, so everyone stays quiet. Because if you make noise, you die. Not maybe. Not sometimes, you die. But here's what makes it worse. The forest shouldn't even be quiet. Billions of galaxies, trillions of stars, planets everywhere. The numbers are so large they stop feeling like numbers and start feeling like a guarantee, like the universe should be crowded, like the sky should be noisy. So why does it feel like we're alone? Why? Because resources are limited. Survival is the first rule. And you can't assume the other side is kind. You can't even assume they think like you. If a species 1,000 years ahead sees you as a future threat, why wait? Why risk it? Look at us. We wipe out species before breakfast. Forests disappear for profit. Nations invade over fear, oil, pride. If we had the power to erase a potential rival planet with zero consequences, would we hesitate? Or would we justify it as defense? Be honest. The scary part isn't aliens. It's projection. The theory assumes they think the way we do, strategic, paranoid, survival-driven. And if that's true, then broadcasting our location is like lighting a campfire in a forest full of snipers. But here's the twist. What if the silence isn't just fear? What if it's the rule? Or worse, what if it's already too late, and we just haven't heard the bullet yet? Now flip it. What if the universe isn't a dark forest? What if it's a zoo? Not the fun kind, the controlled kind. The kind where the animals don't know they're being watched. There's another idea, the zoo hypothesis. It says advanced civilizations already know we're here. They just don't interfere. They observe. Like researchers watching chimpanzees build tools and fight over bananas. Let's make it uncomfortable. The difference between you and a chimp isn't just intelligence. It's scale. You build cities, they build nests. You split atoms, they crack nuts. You write laws, they follow instinct. But to them, you are a god with strange rituals. Now imagine a species to us what we are to chimps. Same gap, maybe bigger. You think you're smart because you built smartphones? To them, that might look like a chimp stacking boxes to reach fruit. Cute, primitive, predictable. Here's the part people skip. When we study animals, we don't ask permission. We tag them, cage them, experiment on them. Sometimes we protect them. Sometimes we wipe them out by accident. Sometimes on purpose. So if we are the chimps, what are they doing with us? Preserving, monitoring, waiting, and why no contact? Maybe it's a rule, non-interference. Let the species evolve naturally, like a wildlife documentary that can't step in, even when the prey gets torn apart. But here's the punch. If you found a tribe that had never seen the outside world, would you hand them nuclear technology? Or would you watch from a distance, study their culture, debate whether they're ready? Maybe we're not being ignored. Maybe we're being evaluated. And ask yourself this. If you were running the zoo, what would humanity's report card look like right now? War, division, ecological damage, nuclear stockpiles, digital addiction. Would you open the cage? Or would you keep the glass thick and the lights off? Let's go deeper. Because this is where people lie to themselves. You like to believe humans are special. Apex mind, peak evolution, the chosen species, the ones who made it. But step back. A chimp can't understand your economy, your internet, your borders, your wars. Even if you tried to explain it slowly, with gestures, drawings, patience, there's a ceiling, a hard one. Their brain just can't hold the model of your world. Now ask the uncomfortable question. What if we have that same ceiling? Not ignorance, not lack of effort, just biological limits. You're proud of physics, AI, rockets, quantum theory. But what if those are just the stacked boxes of our species? Clever tricks inside a very small cognitive cage. Imagine trying to explain calculus to a dog. You can't simplify it enough. The structure isn't there. So what if there are layers of reality your brain simply cannot process? Dimensions, energies, forms of life that don't use matter the way we do. Communication methods that don't rely on sound or light. Entire political systems built on time scales of millions of years. We think aliens would land in ships. Why? Because we use ships. That's projection again. Maybe advanced beings don't travel. Maybe they manipulate space-time itself. Maybe they don't even exist as bodies. Maybe they're distributed intelligence across star systems. And here's the sting. If they are that far ahead, we wouldn't detect them. The same way ants don't detect Wi-Fi. You don't feel stupid hearing this, you feel curious. But deep down there's discomfort, because it means we are not the final draft of intelligence, we're version 0.1. So let me ask you, if a species saw us the way we see chimpanzees, would they feel compassion, indifference, or quiet concern about what happens when the chimps discover fire? Because we already did, and look what we burned. Now watch how the pieces connect. The dark forest hypothesis says, stay silent or get killed. The zoo hypothesis says you're already being watched. Different stories, same pressure. Visibility is dangerous, and humans are addicted to being visible. We don't just exist, we perform. We build towers, we launch signals. We carve our names into history like the universe is keeping score. Even loneliness becomes content. Even fear becomes entertainment. But in nature, the loudest thing in the forest doesn't live long. Think about it. In the jungle, if you glow at night, you're food. If you make noise, you attract predators. If you leave tracks, you get followed. Now scale that up. A planet sending out radio waves is a campfire. A civilization building megastructures is a flare. A species spreading across space is a growing threat. And threat is the one language every survival system understands. This is why the universe might be quiet. Not because life is rare, but because life that survives learns one lesson fast. Hide. So when we ask, where is everybody? We're asking the wrong question. The real question is, why would anybody answer us? And here's the darker twist. Maybe the civilizations that did answer are gone. Not because they were weak, because they were visible. Because in a universe where resources matter, any advanced species has to consider this. If you leave potential competitors alive, you're betting your entire future on their goodwill. Humans already know this logic. We just pretend we don't. You've seen it in geopolitics, arms races, preemptive strikes, surveillance, Cold Wars, proxy wars. Now imagine that, but across galaxies. So what does a smart civilization do? It doesn't explore loudly. It doesn't broadcast. It doesn't introduce itself. It becomes a ghost. And that should make you ask something that hits too close. If survival means invisibility, why are we doing everything possible to be noticed? Now we land on the part that feels personal, because this isn't really about aliens, it's about us. There's a concept that ties everything together, the Great Filter. The idea that somewhere between dead rock and galactic civilization, something wipes most life out. A wall, a choke point, a stage almost nobody survives. And the terrifying question isn't whether the filter exists. It's where it is. If it's behind us, we're rare. Lucky. A miracle that crawled through the cracks. If it's ahead of us, then we're not special. We're just early. Look at what we've built in a short time. We discovered electricity, then built weapons. We discovered atoms, then split them. We discovered networks, then used them to manipulate each other. We're not slow learners. We're fast learners. And that's the problem. Because intelligence grows faster than maturity, we invent power before restraint. We scale before we stabilize. We chase progress like a drug, even when the side effects are obvious. And history keeps repeating this pattern. Civilizations don't collapse because they lack knowledge. They collapse because they refuse to live by it. Now zoom out. If advanced civilizations are hiding or watching or staying silent, maybe they're not afraid of us. Maybe they're waiting to see if we can pass the simplest test. Not math. Not physics. Not rockets. The mirror test. Can a species with godlike tools stop acting like a scared animal? Because right now, our report card isn't flattering. War as default. Greed as a system. Climate damage as collateral. Nuclear weapons as security. So here's the question that should stick in your throat. If you were the ones watching Earth, would you call us intelligent? Or would you call us dangerous? And if the universe has rules, maybe the first rule is this. A species doesn't get to leave its planet until it stops trying to destroy itself.